Hi guys and welcome back to Arsenal Army. So today I'm going to be looking at our 23-24 season squad and picking who I would sell, loan out and keep. I found this tier list on Tier Maker if you want to go and check it out. Um, just starting with the players that are already sold or have left the club on a free. Elneny and Cedric Suarez are two players that we know well. Didn't really see many minutes this season, but they have been good servants to the club, so we say thank you for that. But starting on to our proper first team players, I suppose, Gabriel Magalhaes is definitely a crucial player. There was rumours last season that Saudi clubs were looking to buy him, and we rejected those offers really quick. And he's proved how valuable he is this season, putting in good performance after good performance. And he was one of the stars in a back line that didn't concede many goals. So definitely a crucial player. Havertz next. And again, I think if we're bringing in a striker this season, hopefully we do, he'll be a good squad player. Definitely proved a lot of us wrong this season with some good performances in there. But I think he'll be a good backup striker and even can drop into the midfield if he needs to. So that's only positive things. Next, Jesus, and this is a tricky one. I do like him. He's very skillful and he does bring diversity to the team in the way he plays. We don't really have that kind of winger that is too overly skillful. I mean, Saka is really a cut inside winger, and Martinelli is a speed merchant in my opinion. I do love him, but he uses his speed a lot. But I don't feel like there's a place in this squad for Jesus if we're buying a striker and also looking to buy a winger. So I would sell him, cash out, see how much we can get for him if we can. He has been good the seasons he's been here, but he hasn't been phenomenal. So I'm picking sell. Then Jorginho recently signed a new contract for an extension of a year. So obviously I'm going to say he's a good squad player. He has come in many times this season with Partey's injury, or last season to say, and he did a solid job. So definitely, if we're bringing in a defensive midfielder, it was always good to see him on the bench just in case anything happens to that player. So a good squad player again. Next, a player I don't really know much about, Hein. Uh, I would honestly send him out on loan if he's that valuable to keep all these years, because I've seen him for quite a few years in the Arsenal setup. Surely he will be decent enough to send on loan and maybe in the future get a bigger amount if we're going to try and sell him. Then onto a player that had a mixed season in my opinion, Kiwior. In some games he looked really good, looked like he improved a lot. Then I just, for some reason in my brain, always sticks that Bayern Munich game. Didn't have a great game at all and kind of showed the level he was at that point. I don't really know his natural position. We bought him as a left-sided centre-back. He's only played left back. So I'd like to see him maybe as a squad player, just in case, God forbid, Saliba gets injured. So I'd say keep him, but he's a good squad player. He's not a crucial player yet. Then we have Martinelli, an interesting player, because 2 seasons ago I would have said he is a crucial player. He, to me, even performed better than Saka 2 seasons ago. But this season was not at his best, didn't do much, but still a player I would never say sell. So keep him of course, and a good squad player, even a crucial player if he's having a good season. So now we're moving on to a player that, to me, broke out and was really exciting when he did come through. Reiss Nelson. I do love the way he plays, but he's just not as an effective as a winger as we need. I would lean towards the undecided, but if I'm being truly honest, when I see him play, I think we need to sell him. If there's a kind of a mid-table team that would take him for a decent amount of money, maybe 20 million if we're lucky. I don't know how much he's worth, to be honest with you, but if we're asking for 20 million, hopefully, I would sell him. I mean, he's been a good servant to the club, and I do love him, but I think it's time. Next, we have Nketiah, the little ring me up thing. Honestly, I think if he moves to a West Ham, a Fulham, a club like that, maybe even a Crystal Palace, because Mateta's aging, I think he might get like 12 goals in a season, maybe a little bit more. But at Arsenal, he's not going to break through, in my opinion. I mean, we're moving on from that kind of player, that kind of standard. If we're saying we want an upgrade on Havertz up front, I don't know where Nketiah is going to fit in here. So I'd sell him, try and get as much as we can for him to fund our new signings. Then an academy player. I've read a lot about him recently that he is actually, his contract is expiring, but we are trying our best to renew it. Waters, I think it's like Rowe Waters. He's captained our under 20, I think our under 20, under 18s in the Champions League campaign, and he looks really promising, to be honest with you. So I'll try our best to keep him, and then maybe send him out on loan to a big championship team if they will take him. Then our captain, I'm not going to say much about him, man. He's been phenomenal this season. I really enjoyed how he's played. So he's a crucial player. Of course, we'll keep him. Then onto another academy prospect, Enleny. I've read a lot that Arteta has picked Ødegaard to be his kind of mentor throughout the season coming up. So I think it's going to be really exciting to see him progress. And I think we're fast forwarding his progress in a way and pushing him into the first team this season. So I'll keep him, and I wouldn't send him out on loan. I like to see him as a squad player. Then Partey, one of my favourite holding midfielders. I think when he came in, he was the start of our revolution. Kind of transformed our midfield. Unfortunately, recently his injuries have caught up to him. So I do believe we're going to sell him anyway. But in my opinion, it is time for him to go. If we can get maybe, I don't know, a few million for him, maybe 20, 30 million, it would be beautiful. If we can get even more, I think he's definitely a player that's worth more, but his injuries and his age aren't on his side. So I would say sell. Then our goalie for last season, at least, or 2 seasons ago, Ramsdale. To me, one of the reasons why we were in the Champions League the season just gone, pulled out so many good performances, but we did sign Raya. And I won't say it's a bad decision that we signed Raya, but I do miss Ramsdale. But again, I think if he's not going to get any minutes, and he has got worth, that's a good thing about our squad now, that they are slowly progressing in value. So now when we're selling players, we're actually getting some money back. So I would sell him. It's going to be a shame. I do love him, but I think it's time. Then I'm not going to say too much about this player, Bukayo Saka. He's on his way to being world class, in my opinion. The media hate him. Recently played against Iceland for 25 or 30 minutes, and he was the player on the front covers getting criticised, which I hate. I do love him. Didn't up and down season, in my opinion. Some performances were brilliant. Then he went missing in a few games, limping off. But he's a crucial player, and hopefully going to have a really, really good season coming up. Then we've got his partner that they came up with, Smith Rowe. I absolutely adore this guy. I mean, the way he plays. We even called him the Croydon De Bruyne, if I remember. But just has struggled so much with injuries recently. And you can still see there's potential in the boy. But it's such a mixed thing for me. I mean, if we can get a good amount of money for him, it's hard to say no. But you can see there's talent in him. And if he goes to a rival club, he will shine. So I'm going to say undecided. I mean, I do love him, but those injuries kill him. It's a shame. Then we got Trossard, one of the most money-efficient signings I've seen, a bargain. I'd keep him as a good squad player. He does come into the team and help. He scores those crucial goals. But I would like to see a more exciting winger next season on that left side. Then we have a player that we haven't seen really much of this season, last season. We bought him for I believe £35 million. Has been a bit of a letdown in my opinion. So if Vieira, if I'm gonna be truthful, I would try and get as much money back that we paid for him and sell him. I don't think he's gonna break through. We've got players in that position already that are really impressive. So I'll try and sell him and maybe keep Smith Rowe. Then we got Ben White, Benny Blanco. He is a baller, and he's very underrated in my opinion. He gets a lot of hate on from rival fans, but I think he's one of the best right backs in the league, especially the past 2 seasons. So I would keep. He's a crucial player. I'll keep him. Then we got a player I've criticised a lot this season. If you watch my match reactions, Zinchenko. I believe he's a very technically gifted player, especially when he's attacking. But the mistakes he makes in those crucial minutes and in those crucial games is too many. He gives me a heart attack every time he's on the ball. But if there was some way we could push him into midfield, like I think he would really thrive, like a kind of Trent thing. Obviously not as good as Trent, but still I can see where that is his dominant position. Just defending, he's awful. But knowing Arteta and his plans, he's not going to push him into midfield. So I'll try and get as much money as we can again and sell him. But he has been, first season, I would say, really impressive. I did enjoy him. He kind of declined after that. Next, we've got a player that was out on loan this season to Luton, or last season to Luton. And I saw he got a lot of praise for some of his performances. I heard Klopp praised him as well. And I watched a few Luton games where he played, and he was decent. But I think, again, I'll bring up that I think we're pushing past this kind of player, like Sambi Lokonga I'm talking about here. Again, a few seasons ago, I reckon he could have even got into our squad on our team. But this season, or the season coming up, I'm hoping that we're progressing to push for that league. And I know Sambi Lokonga ain't really going to be a part of that, so I'll try and sell him, to be honest with you. Then we've got Marquinhos, another player that went out on loan. I believe he had 2 different clubs in one season. Left his club in January and then went to Brazil for the rest of the season. I don't know how well he did. I haven't seen many reports on him, so that can only tell me that he wasn't great. So I don't think we bought him for a lot, maybe 7 million. See if we can get anything back for him and sell him. Oops. Then our big money signing from last season, Declan Reiss. Crucial player. He's unbelievable. And he's, again, another staple, hopefully, in this squad that's going to stay for years and years to come. And hopefully wins us a few trophies on the way. Then the last academy product I have on this list is basically what I'm reading, Saka's regen. Another Bukayo Saka. Apparently, his numbers are better than Bukayo Saka's in the under-18s. So I believe we're going to buy a winger. So there might not be much space for him to progress in this team currently. But if you send him out on loan to hopefully a championship team, maybe a League One team because he's still young, and see what reports come back to us from him, I mean, that could be an option. Next, we've got a player that we ain't seen much, obviously because he's ACL injury, Timber. He came back right at the end of the season for the last game and he looked good. And I do definitely believe in my head that if we had him the rest of the season, we could have even been pushing for that title even more and probably would have got there. But it's going to feel like a new signing next season. So I'm going to keep him. I'm going to put a crucial player, even though I haven't seen him that much. I think he will be crucial next season. Then we've got the hard man, Tierney. Went out on loan to Real Sociedad, I believe, and he picked up an injury nearly straight away. Only played a few games and then quite a bad injury. Apart from that, didn't hear much about him. But he was one of my favourite players 2-3 seasons ago. Definitely was one of the most impressive and solid ones we had in that backline, where we had a terrible backline with like Socrates, David Luiz, and Bellerin. He was our bright spark, but just doesn't fit our system. It's really hard for me because we know the class he has. He can put a good delivery into the box as well. And I'm thinking in my head, I'm more undecided. I don't want to say loan. Again, no point. Sell. I still think he's got something to offer to us. But I would say undecided for now. Then we've got another very impressive player coming from this season. Saliba. Again, I'm not going to say too much on it, man. He's a crucial player. Everyone knows that. put him good performance after good performance, and he's only young. So he's going to learn from his mistakes he made last season, if he made any, and just be even better. Then Tomiyasu. Again, I believe he's a good squad player. If he comes in for Timber in games and we buy a left back or we keep Tierney, I think he'll be great to have coming off a bench, or even in games where we're trying to... He's very good one-on-one defensively, in my opinion. So if we're trying to trap a winger in, he's the player. So then we have Raya. He's going to be our new number 1 goalie, I believe. So I'm going to put him on the crucial player. I don't think we're going to sign another goalie to replace him. And I think we're going to trigger his clause if we haven't already. Then lastly, another player that went out on loan, Tavares. I'm going to make this real quick. We're going to sell him. Didn't really do well out on loan with Nottingham Forest, but he's still got value on him because he's young and he plays in the Premier League. So this is my list. I mean, I made it real quick as I could because I know this gets a bit long. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.